going to be a little bit of show and tell. Again, my name is Darren Pettit. I'm with Touchstone Merchandise Group. We provide promotional marketing solutions through promotional products, branded apparel, corporate apparel, embroidery, just whatever situation fits. My background, I'm from Hendersonville. I went to Hendersonville High before it was the new Hendersonville High. Ripped our school down, thank goodness. It was horrific. It was terrible when we went there. But I moved down here when I was 11. My father was an artist in Las Vegas at the Review Journal, and we moved down here for him and my mother to be music stars. So that's how we ended up down here. Thank goodness he had some kind of degree in something, because he got a job working as an artist, then became the art director, and then the production manager, and then ended up buying the business. So when we moved into town, he got a job working up the street here on New Shackle Island Road for a company called Concessions Management. They were a print shop for the NASCAR business. Basically, Conway Twitty owned it. Excuse me. Conway Twitty owned it, Belton Lang. There was about 5 different people that owned it. At that point in late, like 89, 90, it just blew up. They had Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt. They had all of the top drivers. And then they started getting greedy, and the business broke apart. That's when my father went to Conway Twitty, bought the equipment, moved it into the old JCPenney warehouse up the street here. I worked in there since I was 14. As soon as he could get me working, I was in there cleaning screens, doing craft work, all through summers, just anytime that I could, make some money, all through college. So I worked there, built my way up, learned how to set up presses. Basically, when we moved over here, I ran the business for 3 years. Had to get out from underneath the family business, and got a job working with Touchstone. Touchstone is a top 15 promotional products distributor in the country. They're out of Mason, Ohio. We've got reps in 7 states. We have a 40,000 square foot facility there where we stock and ship for companies like Progressive and Netflix and Pure Romance. We also have screen printing presses in there, digital presses that print digitally. I'll show you some samples. It's not a direct to screen print process like we were doing. It's more like a printer. Goes slow, gets good detail, only does really good on white. But we also have 6 embroidery machines. We have a full in-house art department of 5 people there. Anytime you do business with me, you'll never pay an art charge unless you want me to design your logo. Anybody else, you really have to. You can give me a JPEG logo, and I can turn it into vector art, which is really difficult. A lot of people will charge you for that if they can even do it. What else? So I've been with Touchstone for about 1.5 years or 2 years. And we'll go into some samples. Basically, my background is screen printing. As I said, doing promotional products is, to me, kind of a sub-product. Screen printing on material is different than screen printing on metal or plastic, anything like that. The material tends to absorb, so you have to compensate for other things, even in embroidery, depending on what the substrate is. Sometimes the embroidery won't show up well, so there's different things that you can do to make it show up really well. We have different, we'll do hats first. We have many different suppliers. I really am only going to quote you the top, the 5-star suppliers. So there's about 20 of them that I use. A lot of times I'll have, special projects, and we'll definitely go outside of those 20, but it's, we get the best pricing. A lot of those distributors we have preferred pricing with. So in the promotional products realm, if you open a catalog, I'm able to offer 5,000 piece pricing for second quantity, which is usually $250, $350, $500, somewhere in there. So a lot of times, 99 cents will be the EQP price, and I could get you 250 pieces for 99 cents. The setups, so we have suppliers that don't charge setups. Some of our pen suppliers, Gold Star Pen, they offer free shipping, no setups, and EQP pricing. So if there's something that we want, that's things like that, you really, they're not high-end products, So, in the long run, you're gonna get what you pay for. It's like, we did some, little flashlights for Capstar. They were $1.25 a piece, for like $125 low minimum. They were on sale, but they didn't come with batteries, little AAA batteries. But, common sense tells you for $1.25, I'm gonna get the product with a print, and it's probably not gonna come with a battery. It'll say in there, I'll give you the total description of everything, but, you really get what you pay for. The difference between a 40-cent pen and a $1 pen is a great big difference. So it's always better to invest in a product that's going to last longer, be used as much as possible, stick around, have value. Like this pen right here, even though the light doesn't work, you can change the battery out. I still love this pen. It's got a pad here. I use it all the time. Never really used the light, but people love it. So we have we embroider caps, so I can get the cap and bring it in and embroider it at our place, or we can send it overseas. We've got a 30-day program, a 60-day program. Did some hats for Castle and Cook and did those here. We basically, he had an event with the Sounds, so we took their logo, matched it with a hat, red and black, so they kind of fit in with the Sounds program, and that worked real well. All different kinds of products. This is actually a sewn in, so it's not embroidered, it's actually sewn in, and we embroidered yours.
Yep.
We did these for Liberty Party. Those are nice if you don't have any embroidery. So overseas on a 30-day, you can get any style cap you want with as many decorations as you want. This cap right here for 144 pieces overseas is about $650. So, but you wait, and 30 days, you can wait 60 days, and the price goes down considerably. So, it's probably an $8.50 hat here, and then it just drops a couple dollars as you give them time to work it out. There's tons of different hats, different styles,
Dairy Queen.
different embroidery.
Fan food.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 99 cents this week?
This week.
Yeah. And so that's our hats. Bags, they're always a good idea. Different kinds of bags. This particular bag is a wine bag that we've sold to some of the wine places around. There's different sizes. This bag right here is actually made of paper and can be washed. It's the whole renewable. So you can actually wash that and it holds its form and the heavy paper. Most of these bags are gonna have transfers on them. If you can get a direct screen print, but you want to keep it down to just a few colors. They tend to be difficult to print on multiple color. That's why they do a transfer. These days, transfers are a lot softer. They blend a lot better. The way that they did this design, I would have probably put a yellow outline around the design to make it fade a little bit better. And that's something that I just picked up doing screen printing all my life. I'm able to look at something and kind of immediately know what looks good about it, what could be improved on it. These are really cool. The technology and transfers has come to a stage where we're doing a lot of company polos with the left chest instead of embroidery. After a while, embroidery will bunch up once you wash it and wash it and wash it. It's just the way that it is. These transfers are so thin they don't fade, and they don't leave marks around the shirt. So these are pretty awesome. We did some of these bags for Capstar, some black ones, and they hit this one right here. So this bag was like 99 cents. It went real well. All right. So screen printing. Standard screen print, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but it's basically a screen. It's a screen, really fine screen door. That's what the material is. It's mesh stretched over a frame. And it's coated with photosensitive emulsion is what they call it, and then put upside down so the emulsion runs to the front. At that point, a piece of film is put on it and then burned into it with a light. Everything around it hardens. You pull the film off, and what was covered sprays right out. Those then get put in the press, so you do one screen for every color. And that's basically where your setups come in. For the pen, they had to create a screen. It's a little one. They had to create a screen to do this, but it's still going in another process in a different room. Go in, coat it. They have to make the film. So when you send me art, I'll get vector art, and vector art basically puts it in a form that they can split it in any manner they want. And then they split it, separate it, and then they'll output film. So your setup is basically a piece of film and a screen. Once it's burned in, back in the day, you could order and there would be no reset charges, but now they're starting to charge minimal reset. So if your initial is $50, you come back to reorder, it'll be $25. Some of them don't do that, but everybody's kind of going back into that.
It's like
Probably-
airline baggage.
What's that?
It's like airline baggage. You
Right.
charge me for my bags now.
Right. So, what was that? So, basically, they can keep these on the shelf, but everything's recycled. So that photosensitive emulsion, you just put a spray on it, scrub it in, spray it down, reuse the screen. So that's the issue. When I was working with ACP, we had some customers that would order, twice a month. Like Manhead does small orders for Axe, and they ship like every 2 weeks. So we keep those on the shelf, just pull it off, tape it up, and reuse it. But a majority of what goes on is just totally recycled, constantly recycled. Now they have machines that clean those and coat those, so these larger shops are a little bit more efficient than we were. At ACP, we basically charged a film charge and a screen charge. That was my father's company. At Touchstone, I use multiple different printers. My father's shop does 4-color process face shirts, high-end stuff. I don't really do a lot of that. Don't deal with a lot of music that requests that kind of stuff. So depending on the quantity, kind of leads me to the printer. As far as screen printing goes, there's no reason to do 48 pieces at Allen's place because it's going to be high. It's my father's place. So there's a place in Gallatin, small family-owned shop. They knock out 1 and 2 colors for a great price. Don't charge any setups. Everything's in one. So I like to try to make it as easy as possible for you guys as well as for us, so we can just speed through the process. So depending on what the project is, it kind of depends on who I use as far as screen printing goes. If you've got 6 pieces of a 4-color process shirt on white, we'll take it up to Mason and we'll digitally print it. As far as embroidery goes, we don't have any digitizing fees, so basically it's a setup. They'll take your logo, they'll go in and they'll stitch it out. That then goes into the embroidery machine, which tells it how to sew it out. So that is anywhere from $50 to $80 usually. So that's a huge savings in it, right there. There's no minimum on embroidery, so if you wanted to get 3 jackets or a jacket and a shirt, and I did some stuff for a girl I went to high school with who owns a dog walking place. She got 2 shirts, a jacket, a hat, and she was good to go. That's all she needed. So whatever the scenario is, I'll find the best way to give you the best price. What else? So that's about it. Anybody have any questions?